everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Sharon and this is a channel that is dedicated to all things related to narcissism. I make videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on all types of topics related to narcissism, so if you haven't already, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any videos. I would really appreciate it if you gave the video a thumbs up. It's a free way you can help me out, and definitely don't forget to leave a comment because I like to read what you have to say. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the dirt on the covert narcissist. These types of relationships follow predictable patterns. The predictability of narcissism is why learning about it can be incredibly helpful. It's almost like you're given a crystal ball and you can look into your future and see exactly what's going to happen, as long as you don't make the mistake of believing that your narcissist is different. That is absolutely crucial and important advice above everything else except the truth. Now, I understand that for some of you, this is the very last thing that you want to hear. When I think back to how I was when I first started looking into narcissism, when I first heard about it, when I first knew about it, I wasn't trying to learn about it to help myself. I was trying to learn about narcissism so I could change my husband. That's what I really wanted to do. I didn't want him to be a narcissist anymore. I needed him to change. I couldn't be married to a narcissist, so I wanted him to be different. That's what I really wanted. I wanted to learn, I don't know, some magic formula to change somebody else into the person I wanted them to be. I hadn't learned yet that you only have the ability to change yourself. That's it. And I know that some of you are thinking to yourself, well, yeah, but you don't get it. I have to make sure that this person changes. They can't be a narcissist anymore. This has to be different. They have to change. They told me they want to change. Whatever it is, but it all comes down to the reality. And with love, I'm telling you this. You can't change anybody but yourself. Narcissists are liars. They'll say anything. If they're in a bad enough spot with you, they will say anything. They need you to believe that they're different than they are. But part of learning about narcissism is understanding exactly who this person truly is. Whether you accept the truth today, tomorrow, next week, it's still going to be there ready to slap you across the face. The sooner you accept it, the sooner you can move on. And I know some people are thinking, I can't make it without the narcissist. I'm here to tell you, yes, you can. You just think you can't, but you can. I've done it. Other people have done it. You don't have a choice. You think that your only choice is to have the narcissist change. I'm telling you, your only choice is for you to change. All narcissists have certain things in common. They crave attention. They believe that they're better than anybody else. They lack empathy. They have no morals, no decency. Now, if you just meditate on what somebody without morals or empathy can do, what the possibilities are for somebody who never feels guilt, really think about that. They could do anything. Nothing would stand in their way. Now, today we're talking about covert narcissists. A covert narcissist is a special kind of narcissist. They have the same traits as any other narcissist, but they are particularly dangerous and manipulative. They display the signs of narcissism much more subtly. They will annihilate anybody close to them with the viciousness of a hungry tiger. You will be half eaten before you even suspect something is wrong. Like all narcissists, coverts are predators. But these are the predators that pretend that they're your best friends, the predators you tell all your secrets and fears to, the predators you believe are safe. And when you find out the truth, it's not going to be gentle. You'll find out the truth when they jump out of the way and let you get hit. Then it will be an accident. They actually didn't jump out of the way, they fell, they were pushed. They love you. They're sorry. All that intel they gained on you will come in very handy right now when they need yet another chance from you. Did you know that there's a merry-go-round in hell? You will constantly be spinning in circles on it. Covert narcissists teach you that there are bad people in the world, people that can't be redeemed. There are people that carefully catch bugs inside their homes and gently place them down outside. Then there are people who emotionally annihilate you cell by cell. Snip, snip. I wonder what this will do. Is this an artery full of trust? Let's see what a blowtorch will do to it. Oh, what fun. Oops. I love you, honey. Look, I bought you flowers. They're not your favorite flowers. Actually, they're orange, and you don't like orange flowers. but I call them good enough for you. Covert narcissists are extremely passive-aggressive. Now, one of the main ways that you will inevitably see this is in the silent treatment. Covert narcissists love to torture with the silent treatment. Typically what's going to happen is that the narcissist will do something that they'll do something horrible. They'll get caught in a lie, they'll cheat on you, rack up credit card debt, forget your birthday, anything that puts the negative focus on them. And they're going to respond in exactly the same way that your 2-year-old would when they have chocolate all over their face and they don't want you to know that they ate the cookies you said they couldn't have. They'll deny it, and then they'll get mad. In a covert narcissist world, they might go into a silent treatment. And when they do this, they will literally shut down completely. You don't exist. They will end up having a great time with everybody else. Everyone else will be treated wonderfully, particularly well. Everything is going fantastic in the narcissist world for them now. They'll laugh and joke with other people. You become invisible. Who knew you had such powers? If you say something to the narcissist, it will be as if you said nothing. Suddenly, the narcissist is deaf and blind. Your tears, your pleading are completely unacknowledged. So this person who loves you so much is demonstrating to you exactly how much they love you. Never forget that when you're given a silent treatment. They're showing you. A narcissist is really good at telling you certain things. They're horrible about backing that up with real things. They don't do anything but talk. So remember, this is in exchange for them doing something horrible. They cheated on you, you must pay. Now, silent treatment can go on for an extended period of time. When it's over, they'll act like it never even happened. Now, my ex once, and I've mentioned this in my videos several times, so some of you probably are sick of hearing this, but I was given a silent treatment for seven months one time. And when it was over, he did the same thing like any other silent treatment. Suddenly he wants to pretend that he's so cute. Like this is some game that we're enjoying together. So he'll do something like all of a sudden, now he'll always wait till the end of the day. He wouldn't do this earlier in the day when I could get some relief, because silent treatment really, really affected me. It affects people to various degrees. For me, it was brutal. So he would wait to the very end of the day when he was almost home from work, and then he would send me a text, and it would say something like, hey, that's all I had to say. Like, that's all it was worth to him. Hey, or miss you. And then what would happen, I would be so relieved that he would actually communicate with me. I would do anything. All of a sudden, I was putty in his hands. It was horrible one day when Joe said to me, he asked me how I put up with silent treatments for so long, why I put up with silent treatments for so long. He's like, because I told Joe, I was like, at one point, I was like, I didn't even love this person. Like, I didn't even like this person, forget love. And he's like, how could somebody who you didn't even love, how could they have this type of power over you? And I'm telling you now, it's because narcissists destroy you. They take you from the inside out. They destroy every part of your personality. They change you into somebody that you don't even recognize. Like, you need their validation so badly. This is why when I said at the beginning, when you're saying to yourself, and so many people say to themselves, I have to have the narcissist. I can't survive without the narcissist. Of course you can. Think of who you are. That's the same thing with the silent treatment. I thought I was going to die. Oh my gosh, my husband is giving me the silent treatment, the husband that I can't even stand because he's done so many horrible things. Over time, I don't even like him, but he still has this power over me. It sounds crazy, but this is what the narcissist does. They're like a parasite. They get inside of you and they just eat you from the inside out until you don't recognize yourself anymore. So here I am, and I'm a grown woman, and I'm letting somebody abuse me so horribly that they don't speak to me for 7 months. Now, of course, he'll still take everything from me. He'll still eat the dinner that I cook. He'll still let me iron his clothes. Now, yes, you're thinking to yourself, probably rightfully so, what the hell are you ironing his clothes? Yeah, exactly. This is what I'm trying to save other people from, the insanity of what is really going on. Because you're so desperate during a silent treatment, you're so desperate for things to go back to quote unquote normal, that you're trying to please the person who is abusing you. I mean, essentially, this is your abuser and you're trying to please them. So this is exactly what was happening. So at the end, he'll just act like nothing happened. And I'm supposed to just ignore 7 months of torture and abuse. And of course, he'll do this right in front of the kids too. So he doesn't care about his kids. He's letting them see this happen. My kids would say to me, Mommy, why is Daddy doing this? Why is he ignoring you? Because he would be all of a sudden Father of the Year when he's giving me a silent treatment. Suddenly he's so fun to be around. Everything the kids say, it's so funny. That's classic of a covert narcissist. Now, it's not going to ever get any better either if you're given a silent treatment. You know, I can't remember now if I was dating my ex or it was at the beginning of our marriage, but he started giving some friends the silent treatment. And I thought that he'd never do that to me. Like, I was so special to him that he'll never do that to me. Then he started giving the silent treatment to me. Then I believed that he would never do that to his kids. Guess what? Now he does it to the kids. If somebody gives you a silent treatment, the best advice I can tell you, I mean, if this happens one time. Now, a silent treatment isn't you get in an argument with somebody and you say, or they say, you know what, I just need a little bit of time. I need a couple hours. I need a day, and we'll talk about this tomorrow. That's not a silent treatment. A silent treatment is a purposeful and willful, somebody who's purposely and willfully ignoring you completely. You're crying, you're begging, you're talking to them, and they la 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 la. That's a silent treatment. If that happens, my best advice to you is to make it permanent. Nothing is going to come from somebody who gives you a silent treatment. You will never have a happy relationship with somebody like that. You will save yourself so much torture by ending the relationship at the very first silent treatment. I wish now, and it's easy for me to say this now, after 20 years has passed, I wish I had taken my own advice, but I didn't know. I had no idea what a silent treatment even was. Now I know. It tells you a lot about a person if they're able to give you a silent treatment. Now, other passive-aggressive behavior you might see is teasing. Narcissists will say something hurtful and then brush it off as a joke. So as an example, one time I won this pet photo contest. Now I won this pet photo contest with a picture of a rabbit. Now instead of my ex saying to me something like, oh, that's great, or congratulations, what he said to me was, I'd like to see you win with a picture of a more popular animal like a cat or a dog. And I said, oh, gee, thanks. What? No, he's so sensitive. I wasn't saying anything. I was just saying it'd be harder to win if you had a picture of a cat or a dog. You know, that type of thing. They can never give you a compliment. The only compliments they give you are things when they're trying to get something from you. On their own, they're not nice people. They're not genuine in anything that they say. Now, covert narcissists also do not allow anybody else to have a problem. Never expect a narcissist to be there for you. Now, remember, for somebody who doesn't have empathy, they don't care. I had a hard time getting pregnant with my second child. That put me in a massive depression for a few reasons. So besides the obvious of not being able to get pregnant, but also when I was on fertility drugs, it made me extremely emotional on top of that. I never needed my husband more than when I was struggling to get pregnant. Now, this is what Mr. Wonderful did while I cried in bed and prayed. I would cry in bed every night and I would pray. He, instead of comforting me, like he could not comfort me, he would get up, he would go into our daughter's room. She was a toddler at the time. He would go in there and he would start speaking on the baby monitor. So I'm in there crying, and this is what I suddenly hear on the baby monitor. Mommy, why don't you love me? Why aren't I enough for you? Why do you need to have another baby? I mean, this is what I'm hearing. He devastated me. This is the type of thing that narcissists do. They don't care. They can't help anybody else. So if you have a problem, you're not allowed to have a problem. This is a major issue for them. You've offended them. How dare you? Only the narcissist is allowed to have problems. Now, what about a covert narcissist as a father? This won't come as a surprise. And this covers all narcissists, really. They make horrible fathers. One of the main issues with my ex was complete disinterest. So when it came, now notice I said came. I'll get to that in a minute. He isn't dead. When it came to my daughter, he wasn't interested in what she was into. He would walk away from her while she spoke. My ex had this annoying habit of printing off sports articles from the Boston Globe. So he'd print these off every day and he would roll them up and stick them in his pocket. Then, until he read every single word of every single one, he would literally walk around reading these. He looked like such an idiot. He'd be walking to his car, taking the garbage out, waiting in line, talking to me or the kids. Like, really, he'd have these stupid articles in front of his face the whole time. So back to my daughter. So here she is trying to talk to him, and he would start reading one of his articles. He didn't care about her. He never asked her any questions. He couldn't give her any of his precious time. Now, sometimes he would literally fall asleep on her. When he took my daughter out, he didn't do this very often, but a couple of times he took her out, supposedly teaching her how to drive. He would fall asleep in the passenger seat. Now, of course, now I recognize that he was probably passed out, but he would just be asleep and she wouldn't notice this until he started snoring, or she started panicking because something was going wrong and she needed his help. It was a little bit different with my son because they both like baseball. So they would watch games together. They did have that in common. But anything else that my son liked, it was the same as my daughter. He didn't care and he couldn't be bothered to care. Now, what about today? Now, my ex has literally nothing to do with his kids. My ex and I are separated. We're about to get divorced. I live with the kids. He doesn't see them. He doesn't try to see them. He doesn't want to see them. My daughter's 18 and my son is 15. He hasn't seen, spoken to, texted, nothing since my daughter was 16 and my son was 13. But if you ask him, I know this, if you asked him about the kids, he would tell you, I think that he would tell you this, that he loves them and misses them. But again, all these words that a narcissist has, there's zero action behind it. That's so typical. They believe, a narcissist typically will believe that all they need to do is just say, I love you. And that will just cover a multitude of sins. That's fine. They can just say these words. And apparently these words have such power that you will hear that in everything that happens. You won't see it anymore. All you'll think to yourself is, oh, they love me. Okay, you should come back and abuse me some more. This is the type of thing that they think. Now, people get into these relationships because they're manipulated at the beginning. Now, narcissists will typically love bomb you because the reality is that the way that they are when the relationship starts going is you would never be with this person. They couldn't attract anybody by being this way. Nobody gets into a narcissistic relationship on purpose. You don't know. You're love bombed. Now, I got so tricked by my ex at the beginning of the relationship. Now, typically what's going to happen when people get involved in a narcissistic relationship, they fall into these patterns. Now, sometimes they're just love bombed right from the beginning. They're targeted, and the narcissist will trick the other person. They'll pretend that they're somebody else just long enough to get this person in. At other times, what's going to happen is that the victim of the narcissist, will be at a particularly vulnerable point in their life. And this happened to me. I got involved with my ex shortly after I had my heart broken. I was really looking for somebody that was not going to break my heart. So when I met my ex, it's so embarrassing to me now to admit this, but this is the truth. I saw him and I thought, all right, this guy is he wasn't my type. He was like overweight and we didn't have a lot in common. He didn't have a great personality. He was really immature, but I thought to myself, this guy is safe. He's safe. He's not going to be able to break my heart. And I could be friends with him, and this would be a good relationship because he's not going to level me. That's what I thought. I had no idea, and I underestimated him completely. I didn't think somebody like him would have the power. Not even that I didn't think he'd have the power. I didn't even know people were like this, that they were able to abuse people so horrifically. So he first started acting like he was just this fun, great guy. As the relationship started going, things changed. And I kept thinking of him as kind of like this bumbling idiot, like a safe person. That's how I looked at him. He was safe. The other thing with my ex is that I actually always knew him. Our fathers are good friends, so I knew him growing up. So I thought, all right, he's a safe person. I know his family. Now, it wasn't until later, after the relationship ended, and I found out about narcissism. Now, like so many of you, I see it all over my family. Everybody's a narcissist. And I know that sounds like, are you sure you're not just seeing a narcissist behind every corner? No, I'm sure. My father, his father, my brother, his brother, My family is full of narcissists and codependents. And that's pretty typical of people as well that get involved in these relationships. So the person that I thought was safe was literally a wolf in sheep's clothing. That happens to so many of us. Now, my ex slowly but methodically dismantled my life from the inside out. He wanted me all to himself. So one thing that he began doing was that he started changing the way that I felt about myself. So he would do this with little subtle digs. He began telling me that people didn't like me, that I wasn't very popular, things like that. And I can remember at one point I thought to myself, wow, I can't believe that my life has changed so drastically, because I knew, like logically, I knew that this wasn't my experience the rest of my life. But for some reason, I don't know why. Like I think about this now. I'm like, how could this have happened? It didn't connect to me that I stopped having friends when my ex started telling me how people didn't like me. That even though previous to my ex, I didn't have a problem with everybody in my life not liking me, but when it came to my ex, all of a sudden, like the connection was right there, but it just blew right by me. That's part of what happens with these relationships. This is why I say they're almost like this parasite. They eat you from the inside out. You don't know it's happening until it's too late. Now I look at this and I can't believe the things that I put up with. Here was this person. He was always putting me down. He always wanted to make me feel bad about myself. And when it came to my family, though, because I didn't have a close relationship with my family, he didn't have to take them away from me. So that was an important thing, too. But that is a red flag. If you are close to your family, you're close to people, and your narcissist tries to get you away from them, starts telling you that they don't really like you, or they're mean to you, or they're this, or they're that, that's a red flag. My best advice to you today is look at these things and remember how things used to be compared to how they are now. If you are in a relationship with somebody and you see a red flag, I know it's easy to think to yourself, well, they were just having a bad day, or maybe it's not that big of a deal. I'm telling you now, you do not want to be in the position years from now where you're looking at these things in retrospect and you've lost 20 years. The whole point of my channel is to help people who are in these relationships see what's going on, learn about narcissism when they can still do something about it. Now, I do firmly believe that it doesn't matter how old you are. I would be telling you this exact same thing if you're 80 years old. I really and truly never believe it's too late, but I do know it's better to know these things earlier. The earlier you know these things, the better off you're going to be, because you still have a life ahead of you, and there's only one life. Don't waste it on a narcissist. Don't be so down on yourself. Don't do more work for the narcissist. The narcissist wants you to feel as bad as possible about yourself. That benefits them because they know if they're really who they are, you won't be with them. Don't let them talk you into thinking that you can't make it without them. Of course you can. Think who the narcissist is and think who you have the ability to be. People that aren't narcissists, people that want to improve their lives, can do that. You can do anything that you want, anything. Nothing holds you back except yourself. And if you feel bad about yourself, if you believe the things the narcissist tells you, think of who the narcissist is. You're going to believe what they tell you over what you know about yourself. Everybody, anybody can be exactly who they want. And that goes the same for the narcissist. They are who they want to be. Remember that. They're choosing to be this way. You can choose to be whatever way that you want. And I want you to be the person of your dreams, the person that you want to be, the person that you always should have been, the person that the narcissist should have helped you be. Think about if you're in a relationship with somebody. You're in a relationship with somebody. This person should help you. They should be a support to you. They should want the best for you. Don't you want the best for the person that you're with? A narcissist isn't like that. All they want is for you to do things for them. They want to hurt you. They want you to feel bad. They don't feel guilt. So I hope this video helped. I hope it helped shed a little bit of light on who a covert narcissist really is, the types of things that you can expect from a covert narcissist. But ultimately, I want all my videos, I want my whole channel to be one of hope, because I really believe in it. I believe you truly can be anybody that you want to be. There's no limits. If you can dream it, you can do it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe and definitely comment. And I will see you on Monday with Joe. Joe's going to make a video with me over the weekend. I'm not sure what it's going to be on yet. So if you have any suggestions, drop them down below. Other than that, have a wonderful day and I will see you on Monday. God bless.